Morning and welcome to 66 Cups of Tech. My name is Sean Strain, the Director of Technology for the Franklin Market Center over in Nashville, Tennessee. Today we are going to go over opportunities. So let's grab that cup of coffee and let's get started. So from the login screen on the left-hand side, we are going to go into opportunities. Some call it the shaking hands. If you need to read, just hit that red KW. It'll pop it out to the side for you. So let's hit opportunities. And we're going to go over this opportunities dashboard real quick. So from the top, this is your opportunities pipeline for your database. You can choose to switch over to all opportunities where you can see it in a list form. The other way is it breaks it down into your different, conversations, listings versus buyers versus leases. On the screen, you can see what opportunities you have in which phase of a transaction. So from cultivate all the way to close, it will show you your potential income versus your probable income. So what this does is your potential income is that mathematical income based on the volume, this and your commission. This is how much you can make. Your probable income takes it a little bit more analytical, and it says based on where your opportunities are throughout the transaction process, your chances of closing change. So the further along the contract, the higher your chances of closing. The earlier on is you're more susceptible to fallout. So you have probable income versus potential income. And then when we scroll down, we can see the ratio. So your ratio of listings to buyers to leases. We can see your activity map here on the right. And then you can see closings this month. So when you're creating an opportunity, which we'll see here in a moment, the most information that you provide, you'll be able to see your closings for that month as long as you've provided a closing information for that. Okay. So let's scroll back up to the top. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this listing screen. So as you can see, we have cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and close. These are all phases that the labs team and agents across the country who are a part of that process have determined that these are phases that every single agent goes through. We can open up these phases and we can look at the stages. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's open up active. So we can click active, we can click on the icon, and it's going to bring us to this screen. So you can still see the phases: cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and close. Yet it also breaks that phase down into stages. So we have staging, showing, negotiations, and legacy. The legacy stage is a stage for importing opportunities from Dotloop into Command. If you are a new agent, the legacy stage isn't going to be as much of a use to you since you're probably learning Command for the first time, so you don't have that Dotloop to or DocuSign or any type of importing angle that you need to do. You should be doing it from Command. You should know it as a Command process from the jump. All right. So let's look at this. So we have staging, showing, negotiations, and legacy. Let's say we want to edit this stage process for active. When your business starts to grow, maybe staging and photography needs to be broken down a little bit more. So to edit that stage, let's just go ahead and we're going to hit edit, and we're going to add a new stage to this phase. So the stage name, we'll call it photography. If you know your probabilities, you can put that in there. You can change the position. You can add a checklist of items. So let's say order photography. I did not spell, my apologies. All right, we're going to hit save, and then we're going to hit save again. So this one, it automatically put it down at spot number 5. Obviously, we're going to want to stage it and then probably go to photography from there and then go into showing and negotiations. So we have photography. We have the checklist item of order photography. We can edit the stage or archive the stage completely, but that's a breakdown of how to edit that stage process. So let's go back to the last screen. We're gonna hit the sales pipeline active over here, and you can do that for all of them. Let's go back into active real quick. I want to show you all something pretty cool. So we have this active listing opportunity that's already been created. We're going to create one here in a second. But the cool thing is from here, you can drag and drop your opportunities throughout the processes. So simply, you want to make sure you see this hand, you just click, drag, and drop. So when photography is done and you're ready to go to showing, you click, drag, drop. When you're showing and you go into negotiations, you're under contract, you just click, drag, and drop it into the under contract, and it will drop it into escrow. And you can move it all along the process in this way. All right. Let's go back to that previous view. So now we're going to create an opportunity. The import feature is how to import from .loop to command. I'll do that in a future video. That's a little bit more involved. But let's go ahead and let's create an opportunity. Okay. So you're going to create an opportunity. You're going to have a market center. If you're in a team, that's going to be an option. What kind of opportunity type is it? Is this a listing? Is it a buyer? Or is it a landlord-tenant opportunity? Let's go with listing for this example. And then we're going to come down to clients. So the way that command is built is it puts the responsibility back on you to manage a database like a business. So before you can create documents and negotiate contracts, you got to have clients. So let's pretend for a second we have Jake. I don't have Jake in my database, so this is going to be what I refer to as your first hard stop. Before you can create an opportunity, we got to go back and add that contact. We've already added the contact. We're going to do Annie Agent. There she is. If you have spouses or business partners or whoever's going to do the transaction together, you can add them as well. You have your opportunity name, custom tags that you'd like to use for that opportunity, an estimated close date, and then we get down to these four options. So we have estimated listing price. I like to live the high life, so let's pretend like it's $1 million listing. Okay, what's your commission rate? Traditionally, we'll say is 3%. So then we have the opportunity phase and stage. So at this point, where are we in the process? Are we at the appointment? Are we active? Let's say we're active and we are in the staging stage. Okay. One thing I want to back up for, there's the estimated listing price. Now, before your listing appointment, let's say you've talked about it. We're thinking it's $1 million listing. Great. You schedule that appointment. That appointment's not for a couple of days, and in that time frame, that's when you're doing your homework, and you really determine that price really needs to stay around, $950 to $975. You're going to want to come back in here and change this to whatever list price you've decided to list it at with your clients. Also, when you go under contract, let's say that they did agree to list it at $1 million. However, they accepted an offer for $995. You're going to want to come in here and change that to $995 so that when you create your opportunity and at the bottom here, it shows you accurately what your commission is. That's going to pull over to that previous screen on the dashboard showing your probable and potential income. Okay. All right. So from here, we have details, we have documents, we have offers, commissions, notes, and timelines. We'll go over offers and commissions in a future video. These are not fully active for all market centers right now. However, definitely dive in and check that out. I will show another video of what it can do at this time. And then as soon as that becomes more current and unlocked for all market centers, we'll definitely readdress that. So now we have your general information. This is going to have more information than what you put in the beginning when you created that opportunity. But let's go ahead and edit that, okay? All right, so some of the same information is there. Some things you can't change at this point. So let's go. We can choose to change the opportunity phase and stage here if we need to. Notice now we have unlocked under contract and closed. You can do that this way, or you can drag and drop like I showed you before. Also, we have a few more questions that it asks you. What is the time frame for your client? Do they want to sell in the next 1, 3, 6, 12, or other months? An estimated close date, appointment schedule, appointment date, agreement one, contract date, and close date. As you get more purposeful in your business, you're going to start tracking important dates like these so that you can reevaluate your business and find out where you can focus on to grow that part. How long does it take from a scheduled appointment to an agreement one? What do I need to do in terms of, is it because of I'm not prepared? Is it because I don't know my objection handlers? You're going to be able to look at your business like that based on these facts. And then we have the estimated listing price. Again, remember, we do need to change the contract price when that does happen. Cross your fingers. Hopefully one day we'll have a box right here for contract price so we can, view that, an estimated listing price versus a contract listing price, so we can have that conversation. All right. And then we're going to hit save. What am I missing here? I didn't do anything. So save. Now we have that information filled out. On the right, you'll see a property box. It is important for your market center administrator that you fill in a property address box. You just type it in, it'll auto populate, and there you go. If you do find that you're doing new construction, no worries. Here, it should provide you with glitching out. If you don't have an address, it should allow you to manually, they may be working on this right now. But at the end of the day, just make sure you're putting an address there. This is going to help the auditing process and the MCAs process your transaction more efficiently, especially if you name your opportunities by client name, which I do not suggest. I suggest using property addresses. Reason being is, so I'm helping John Smith. There is possible that an agent in your office is also helping a John Smith. So when you call to your market center and you're asking questions, is it here for John Smith? Well, which John Smith? Now, we got to ask a couple more questions. So this kind of expedites that process. Okay. So we're going to hit save there. You've got that address there, which will help at the MCA level. You can attach other apps like Porch, Seller's Worksheet. You can also provide. You can go in there and edit that, which is going to be a great tool when it comes to the other offers and comparing them for your clients. And then if you want to do a description, and he was a referral from coaching. All right, hit save. There we go. All right. So now we've created the opportunity, the appointment's in a couple of days, and we need to get the documents together so that we're prepared. So we're going to go over here to the Documents tab. All right. And you're going to notice we have some folders here on the left-hand side listed under contract and closed. If you are working in a buyer opportunity, it will say consultation rather than listed. And then if you toggling between these folders, you'll notice that the documents within them are also changing. Now, one thing I want y'all to look at this as an interactive checklist. Not necessarily are you going to have all 13 documents or 25 documents. You might not have 6 counteroffers, and that's okay. Skip that, okay? However, if you have 6 counteroffers, your market center will likely need you to upload those. If you have 7 counteroffers, then you'll want to add that, and you add that by simply hitting the add item. It's super easy. just hit add item, follow the instructions here, and you're good to go. All right. So we've created the opportunity. We need to get documents. How do I get the documents? So if you're using DocuSign or .loop, you're going to drop that start a transaction arrow. We're going to choose .loop. We're going to choose the template that we want to create. And we're going to choose the .loop template. It's going to change that starter transaction to go to transaction and sync transaction. Okay. Think of sync transaction as one of your first troubleshoots when you're adding a file down here and it's not locating it. Okay. So we're going to hit go to transaction. It's going to take you, if you've not logged in a while or at all, it's going to ask you to sign in. Yeah, notice it's going to take you right into the loop. For the new agents out there, there is another screen before this once upon a time that we would hit add a loop. Yeah, if you're doing it this way, you're doing it the right way nowadays. For your older agents, it's taking us right into the loop now for that specific opportunity. So we have all these documents. You're going to operate in .loop the same way that you've always operated in .loop. And for the new agents who are not familiar with .loop, your market center, me specifically, we will also have a .loop class taught differently than we used to teach it before, now that we do things a little bit differently with command. All right, so we're going to work. And here, fast forward, it's time to upload documents for review to our compliance officer or coordinator, whoever's auditing your files, to make sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. So we have the listed folder. You are required to, at least in our market center, upload a copy of the listing agreement. A listing agreement is required. A buyer's agreement is required. So we're going to want to go in there and we want to add those files. So to add that file, you just go to the right of the item. Remember, this is a checklist, and we hit add a file. Because we've created it through .loop, we have this option to pull straight from .loop. So we're going to select .loop, and it's going to provide this drop down with every single document that is in your .loop. For this one, notice we are trying to upload the exclusive right to sell listing agreement. So there it is. We're going to search for it. It's a little faster. Select it, assign it. Notice that it fills in right here. It's uploaded. You're good to go. You're going to move down the list like so until you've uploaded everything for your listing. And then you're going to do the same thing with your under contract. Not sure what everybody's responsibility is in terms of uploading documents for review once you've gone under contract. In the Franklin Market Center, we like to set that standard at 48 hours from under contract. Just that gets you in line. With over 300 agents, the auditing process can take some time. So we want to get you in line as soon as possible. Now, once you've uploaded a document, then it will release the Submit to Market Center button where you can submit to Market Center. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to submit this for review? Avoid delays in approval by ensuring all attached documents are accurate. Contact your Market Center if you have any questions. In our Market Center, if you are missing a stray document, go ahead and still submit it. Still get that document submitted for review as soon as you can. One of two things is going to happen. You're going to upload it before the auditor gets to it, or you're going to find out you're missing it. Either way, it's going to help get that process moving as quickly as possible. I'm not going to submit this one though. Okay. So we've added a contact in a past video. We've created this opportunity for any agent. We've created documents. We've uploaded documents for review. Now we just need to wait for it to be audited and sent back with the OK, green check mark approved, or a red X saying that there was something missing. A cool feature now is you have this add comment where you can communicate with your market center leadership. So if you wanted to talk to your MCA, you just hit add and search for your MCA. I've made a change to my green sheet. Okay. Add reply, and you can communicate with that person, and it will give them notifications. Your auditor is also going to speak to you like that as well. If you're missing something or if something's specifically wrong, they will let you know. All right, that's it for opportunities, grabbing those documents and submitting them for review. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed your cup of coffee. That's all I got for today. Talk to you later.